Hello guys, this is What If Guy here, and I'm going to make What If Deku was Spider-Man. This is going to replace What If Deku had a time code because I don't really like that What If. So, this starts off, it does not start off as canon where Deku is born by Inko. Deku is born by somebody other. I forgot who Spider-Man's mom is. So, and Deku is going to be the first ever hero. When Deku is born, quirks doesn't still doesn't exist. So Deku is going to be the first somebody that will have a quirk, and his quirk will be an aging quirk. It won't be Spider-Man. It'll be an aging quirk. So he will live forever, but there's nothing about like immortality. He just lives forever. He'll grow up to 18 and live forever. And just think everything about like Spider-Man. It goes like that. He gets his power, and this time uh, he has organic spider webs, and he does not have those mechanical ones. He has organic spider webs, so he has as much spider webs as he wants. And when Deku gets his powers, everything's happening the same. Uncle Ben dies, and I'm going to go on the game right now. So like in the game Rhino, yeah, everything like that happens till the end of the game. Aunt May dies, and after that, Deku is like the most popular, but almost every villain will be forgotten because of people getting quirk. And yeah, a villain like those will start to be like normal, and after that, Deku gives up being Spider-Man because he was so sad. His best friend and something like a father not died, betrayed him. Aunt May, like a mother, died again. He just gave up being Spider-Man and was on the sidelines. He was on the sidelines, and so now this is where we start the what if when Alma is the number one hero and everything. This is we start the anime right now. Deku looks like an 18-year-old, and Deku is just walking around town. No, this is when All Might fights All for One. Deku is just walking around, and everybody remembers Spider-Man for being the first ever hero. So this is when All Might and All for One are fighting, and Deku sees that and sees that All Might is actually losing, and he decides to help him. He gets in this suit. This is the suit he had, the Mark II, I guess, of his suit, and he goes and you know what he does? He throws five. He like gets All Might away, and he throws five explosive web grenades, and those grenades wrap all for one, and then Deku goes and shoots like webs at him, and so many webs that he's stuck in place and starts doing starts punching him in the air, like swinging he punches him up in the air. He then he throws a web at him, and he spins in the air and shoots him in the ground and hits him pretty bad in the ground. And then Deku comes up with both of his legs down and kicks All for One in the no, in the face. And after that, Deku grabs a bike, no, a car that's nearby, swings it and throws it at All for One, hitting him, injuring him pretty bad. But All for One still somehow gets away because plot. And when everybody sees him, when everybody sees no, when just All Might sees him and thinks in his head who's dead, because All Might doesn't know that much about like the old heroes, and Deku just escapes out of here with web swinging and goes back to his suit and gets out of his costume and puts it in and gets closed over it. So All Might thinks who's that is, and All Might this time didn't get injured, so he still has his normal eyes, and he is still in his prime. And if yes, Deku is about 10% one for all, but Deku still can beat All Might with all of his tactic, and now he uses the spider powers. So this is when UA opens and everybody goes, and but Deku does not go, and Deku is going to be like he's coming back, but as a vigilante. He won't really be a vigilante because he was the first hero, so nobody would call him a vigilante. But not many people know who he is because he's like it has been over hundreds of years. They think he most likely they think that he's dead. I'm just going to be back. I just forgot where I left off, so I'm going to pick up. So Deku becomes a vigilante, he stops crime, he stops pretty big crimes too. But yeah, yeah, he stops pretty big crime too. So this is like okay, I don't remember how long it took. This is like 5 years later. Deku should be around now, so something like 230 years or something old. So this is when USJ attack happens, and Deku will know of the attack, and if you ask how, he felt that something really bad is going to happen with his spider sense when he was near UA, so he decided to follow the bus, and he was under the bus with his with him sticking, and so when Deku was there, and when the attack happened, Deku like Deku just started and he started beating up the villains, and he had a spider helper. If you don't know that, that's an ultimate where you spawn it where you get a turret and it helps you, and he has another five turrets but just weaker, and he spawns all of those turrets like six turrets with pretty good attacks, and they start to attack the villains, and those turrets are with electricity, so they knock out the villains. They knock out about 50% of the villains, and Deku just throws their five grenades, sticking up another 25% of the villains, making them immobilized, and he beats up the rest of them. And Aizawa knows who that is because let's say Aizawa is pretty smart, and a few of the students know him too, like Momo and whew, the Zero guy, the one with the tape, because his quirk is pretty similar to well, he thinks that it's pretty similar, but no, they're not. And he knows who Spider-Man is because he is a pretty big fan of Spider-Man, and yes, Spider-Man still has his merch. So a few people know him, but not that many people are a fan of him anymore because then they think he's dead, and when the Nomu comes in, Deku just throws five grenades, no, this time 10 grenades at the Nomu spider web grenades, and those wrap around the Nomu, and Deku, with his Spider-Man spider sense, I don't know if this is canon of Spider-Man's power, but he realizes that there's no heart to beat. So Deku realized that this creature is not human, and when on the Nomo's web, Deku goes to the brain and just takes the brain out, killing it. And when Deku kills it, this is when all the other heroes arrive. I'm sorry guys for yawning. This is when all the other heroes arrive and they see Deku there, and some of them know who he is, but not a whole lot of people know who he is. All Might does not know. So after they see him, Deku just uses a, what was it, a flash grenade, and everybody is blinded for a few seconds, and Deku just escapes away by web slinging. And I'm going to give him an ability of Miles Morales, being able to go invisible, and he goes invisible and just escapes out of there. And when Deku is out of there, they start an investigation on who this is, because they don't believe that is the original Spider-Man, because he should be dead, because it has been like 300, no, 200 years or something. And when Nezu hears of this, he doesn't believe it at first too, but then when they do research, they see that it's the exact same suit, exact same fighting style, everything is the same, his web swinging and everything. So he's a legend, the first hero, and Amai recognizes him that he's the one who helped him against All For One, and All For One this time got even worse damage, so he'll be even weaker than Canon All For One, because Deku threw a fucking card at him, and Deku is pretty strong, 10% punches. If you think it won't do anything, oh, it will do. And after all that, Deku just goes home to his spider cave. No, I'm just lying. Just goes home to his apartment, and he lives all alone. And when all the heroes like search him, they don't find where he lives, because he went there invisible. He does not want anybody else to be tracking him, and nobody knows how he looks. Nobody. So this so and he gets out of his apartment, and he stops crimes, and he does a signature hanging up people on street poles, and so on. And this is after a few months. They found out who where he lives. So when he goes back to his apartment, a few heroes come there, and they knock on his door, and this is when the doors open. But guys, this is going to be on the next episode. Hope you liked it, and subscribe if you like the episode. 2 likes, and I'm going to do part 2 of this. And bye guys, hope you have a good night, evening, or day. Goodbye.